you out there. Now, a story I want to do for about 7 or 8 minutes before we get to our candidates. I told you at the beginning of the political season, okay, be cautious of candidates that avoid fetchyournews.com. Be cautious of those candidates. Be cautious of the candidates that do not respond and take the opportunity to put the free announcement of their candidacy off fetchyournews.com. I ask you to be aware of them. Now, I have been told that we should bring you the truth. So here is the truth for you out there that are confused by it. Everywhere you look, you see Johnny, Larry, Jack, and Brian Jones. Johnny Searcy, Larry Bennett, Jack Taylor, and Brian Jones. Everywhere you look. So I have made every attempt. So you will know out there, I have made every attempt before releasing the 2005 GBI report concerning Johnny Searcy and the BB&T loan and vouching for Rick Jones, allegedly vouching for Rick Jones and refusing to take a polygraph test. We have, let me look you right in the camera and tell you, we have done everything to try to communicate with Mr. Searcy, Johnny Searcy, for months on end. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of video out there Johnny does not want you to see. Johnny has stood up at different events and said he preempted all of this because he said, if you hear anything bad about Johnny Searcy, you call Johnny Searcy. We cannot get in touch with Johnny Searcy. He will not speak to Fetch Your News. And this was all done intentional with him, Larry Bennett, and Jack Taylor. It is a cartel. Now, let me explain something. People might not like what I'm saying. It's a cartel. I call it the Fannin Cartel. A cartel is a coalition or cooperative arrangement between political parties intended to promote a mutual interest. Now, they got together way in advance and worked this out, okay? Larry Bennett, Jack Taylor, Brian Jones, and Johnny Searcy. And part of that was to only work with a propaganda source, the Fannin Focus. And the Fannin Focus is a propaganda source, okay? Period. Just simple as that. They would work within their propaganda source to get their message out. Jack Taylor would be the angry candidate. He would be angry. He would be in your face. He would be the one, you know, like you are president and you pick a vice president, you let your vice president go out there and pick all your battles and fight your battle. That was going to be Jack Taylor, okay? Now, Jack knows he can't win as sheriff, so what is he doing? But he's the bad candidate in the race as far as he is the aggressive one. Okay. Now, see, the whole campaign has been set up so Johnny Searcy can look like a nice guy. There's a creation of an image of Johnny Searcy. There's this creation of this really nice guy. Now, we don't go back to 2005. You can go back to 2014 and see the citation book issue with the city police chief. You can go back to 2015 and see the guns that the city of Blue Ridge sold. There's a whole fiasco there on the city police guns. Okay, you could go right now, currently in 2 weeks, there's going to be a second part of the Gerard and Davis investigation concerning the city council departments and the mayor of Blue Ridge. So we're not going back to 2005 for those of you that don't think that, you know, but the ideal is Johnny has to have a perception. So he doesn't, see, Johnny's known as he has a quick temper. He flares off real quick. He hasn't me. He's looked right at me and told me I messed up one day. So Johnny has a bad temper at times. So the ideal is keep Johnny calm, keep Johnny away from everything, keep Johnny hugging babies, talking to children, feeding the hungry, and all the great things that Johnny's going to do for the county. Let Larry Bennett and, Jack Taylor siphon off enough votes with Johnny to put the sheriff's race into a runoff. That's the deal. That's the cartel. And use the propaganda piece they want to put out their information. Okay. Now, that being said, the 2005 investigation, why didn't Johnny contact me? Now, I feel so strong. The citizens of Fannin County deserve information and know what's going on. I've endured. Now, if things have changed in Fannin County, it's 2016, and Johnny wants to be sheriff of the county. If things have changed, then why am I enduring here threats? See, I knew when I put this report out and decided to tell the truth to the citizens, because you need to know this, okay? I'm enduring questions multiple times from multiple people from different sources. Are you not afraid of them burning your house down? Really? I got to go around worried about my house being burnt down because I told the truth here? Poisoning your pets? Really? The cartel poisoning my pets? Planting drugs in your car? That was a good one last week, I heard. I heard it all multiple times because I came and told the truth. Propaganda is what Johnny has set up. They've set it up for a year. So now let's look at it just a little bit. Okay, you got a former Fannin County Sheriff's deputy, Michael Early. Nice young man, but let's say this. He killed Carl Davenport November 22nd, 2012, Thanksgiving morning at 5:30 a.m. as a sheriff's deputy, okay? He did that. He was cleared, okay? Read his personnel file and find out why he was released from the Fannin County Sheriff's Office. Nice young man, but he was released from the Fannin County Sheriff's Office. Looked all the way into that personnel file. Now, the propaganda piece makes it look like that Larry Bennett did the honorable thing. Now, the propaganda piece has it look like Larry Bennett did the honorable thing, wrote this big story on how he resigned as the McKaysville chief of police because the McKaysville city could not pay all of its officers. So he did the honorable thing and resigned for his officers. That's the propaganda they put out. But then shortly after that, Michael Early was named police chief, okay, of McKaysville. Interesting. All right. Now, there's some question to be led by that, but sources tell FetcherNews.com FYN that Michael Early is a family member of Larry Bennett's. Now, where are we going with this? Okay. So the propaganda piece continues. Now, Jack Taylor, let's go back. Jack Taylor stands no chance, but he will do anything for the puppet masters. The puppet masters are out there, anything Jack wants. The best thing I can figure out, they pull the strings and Jack attacks. Helps make Johnny look like a nice guy. The best thing I can figure out, if Johnny was to be elected, Jack gets some sort of job, because why not keep somebody around that's going to move every time you pull the strings? So that's the best I can figure out with Jack. He pulls enough votes off maybe to get into a runoff. Now, Brian Jones currently works for the Blue Ridge City Police Department. Seems like a nice guy, and now wants to be the magistrate, okay? But he's in the cartel because every time you see the other three candidates, you see Brian Jones. Now, he wants to be candidate. I'm going to put this all together, all right? Now, Larry Bennett resigns. So what's Larry Bennett going to do? It's 8:13, I got to go. What's Larry Bennett going to do? What if Larry Bennett brings off enough votes to push the runoff? What if this happens and the Fannin Cartel completes what they want to do with their propaganda? Johnny becomes sheriff. What if, just saying, Larry Bennett becomes chief of police of the city of Blue Ridge? What if, which he already is, Michael Early is the chief of police in McKaysville, and what if Brian Jones becomes magistrate for Fannin County? What if? Then Johnny will do what he wants to do. Then they all of them, every last one of them, will work as hard as they can to get together, with their propaganda piece, the Fannin Focus. They all will work together to try to get Johnny elected okay, over the current sheriff. That being said, when they do that, then Johnny won't just be sheriff, he will be king. He will have a propaganda piece. He will have the magistrate's office. He will have the chief of police of McCaysville. He could possibly, Blue Ridge could oblige him and give him the chief of police of Blue Ridge, and then he would be the sheriff. There will be no transparency. There will be no transparency. There will be no open records request. And he will buy a license plate scanner for several deputy cars and wait till he pulls in your driveway and turns around or says he's just responding to a call. So keep in mind before you go vote, the cartel is working this angle, and I don't know if you don't want to think this out before tomorrow. More on this story later.